I will do a short intro
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll go from there.
All right. Yep, I got it. I see me. Hey.
All right. Hi. Good morning. Ooh, good afternoon, everyone. It's 1 p.m. It's 1 p.m. Welcome to the Beacon of Hope show. My name is Faith Mwaura, and I'm the Chief Creative Officer of the Hope Hub and the host of the Beacon of Hope show. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as you tune in, please tell us where you're logging in from. Please, we encourage you to participate, to share, and be part of this conversation. We here at the Hope Hub are a platform that believes that everyone has a story and everyone has experiences that can serve a greater purpose. And my guest and I share a very similar mission of sharing positive, hope-filled stories that educate, that empower, and uplift people and communities. The Hope Hub specifically believes that your story has value and can serve a multitude of people who may be going through life challenges and need a word of hope and encouragement in their current season. So today we have a very special guest. We have another beacon of hope. Yes, another lighthouse on a cliff that shines his light to the lost mariner at sea.
Oh
His
my God.
name is Mr. Ivan Thomas, also known as Big I. Big I, welcome to the Beacon of Hope show.
I need to make sure you come introduce me to wherever I go. Good Lord. Thank you so much.
I think you are a beacon of hope, a lighthouse on a cliff overlooking the rough seas. And when you see people drowning, you call them in, you're that light shining out.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That is
you're
awesome.
welcome. Ivan Thomas, let me just do a really quick, short, tiny little bio, even though you will introduce yourself.
Mhm.
Ivan Thomas is a lifelong resident of Delaware. He is the founder of Delaware TV, a media platform that strives to promote community and consciousness. The camera is Ivan's tool. His business is psychology, persuasion, and social architecture. He bridges the gap between diverse groups of people through Delaware TV, videography, and photography. And that's kind of how I know you, is through Delaware TV and your videos that pop up on Facebook on my newsfeed from time to time. It also says in your bio that you're the owner of Blue Films Media and that you work throughout Delaware, content creation, enlightening, engaging the audience. And you also do some community service as well with Kumbak Academy, a city charter school focusing on closing the achievement gap in the city of Wilmington. So thank you so much for answering the call to be a beacon of hope. On this show, I actually had some trepidation asking you to do this, surprisingly enough. But then with your videos, you kept telling people, create your opportunity.
Right.
Go after your dream.
Yeah.
If you want something, go for it. So I said, okay, what's the harm in just asking? I'm not gonna die if he says no, so I'll just go ahead and ask. So if you can just go ahead and introduce yourself to the Hope Hub, that would be amazing.
First of all, Faith, thank you so much for giving me time and space with you on your platform. I really, really appreciate it. And salute to you for just going and doing. That is one of the things that stop people from greatness is fear, and the fear to ask. If the Bible says you ask not, you have not because you ask not. And for people that are actually doing things in a space of gratitude and humbleness, they will always say yes. You know what I mean? Unless it's something that they really can't control, they will say yes. So thank you for allowing me, and I wouldn't have had to pass this opportunity up. So my name's Ivan Thomas, Big Ive. I'm a creator. I'm a creator that just happens to love humanity. And that's it. It's one of those things that I try to just bring people together, regardless of what we look like or what our spiritual preferences are, but just bring people and just tap into the human. The world we live in right now is very, very, tech based.
Mm-hmm.
and we do more socializing on social media than socializing one-on-one. So I try to use social media to tap back in as a tool, as a vehicle to get people together to say, hey, let's go try this, let's go do this, and
Yes.
let people see that diverse backgrounds can have a great time with one another. So that's all I am. I'm just a scientist,
Mm-hmm.
a social activist that's just trying to bring people together by using a camera. That's it.
Wow. And I think all of us can sense that when we see you online and through your content and your words of encouragement. And in my mind, I identified you as a beacon of hope and light due to your encouragement of others on the importance of never ever giving up on a dream, no matter how outlandish or
Yeah.
outrageous it may seem to others. I remember one time you saying, um, what did you say? Use what's in your hand,
Yeah.
instead of belaboring, okay, I don't have this, I don't have that. What is
Yeah.
in your hand? What is in your environment? So
Yeah.
I would love for you to tell us about Delaware TV, which is huge.
Yeah. I didn't,
Take,
I
take
didn't,
over.
I didn't even expect that it was going to be this huge. I didn't. Um,
Awesome.
I created DETV because I got tired of seeing people of color
Yeah.
being railroaded by media
Mm.
organizations that were here in Delaware. And when I mean railroaded, I mean they were showing that people of color were animals, or we didn't do anything. They would, and it was just horrible. So after I learned cinematography and videography, and I
Mhm.
actually learned it in 2012,
Yeah.
um, I in 2014, I got tired. I was just like, let me create something that can counteract or contradict what everyone else is doing.
Wow.
And it actually, I went around and I don't even have the camera. I gave the camera away with this little camera in my cell phone, just doing interviews,
Yeah.
like, just like how you're doing right now.
Mhm.
And it was just like, how do I leverage these interviews and how do I create a vehicle that will allow people to see it? And one day I called a friend of mine, Lindsay Tucker, who's also a mentor of mine. And remember this, you're never too old to have a mentor.
Yeah.
Never too old. And I actually had to rebuild my life at 37.
Wow.
And it's hard when you have to rebuild your life. Um, so I created, running around with just doing interviews, and I was showing people doing positive things. It was, I remember it was Sandra Pitts from One Village Alliance. It was
Mhm.
Pastor Hare, my first job in the media at 38 years old, 39 years old, was Pastor Hare from Faith City
Big
Church.
city. Yes.
Yeah, and they had me, and he just loved how I was just using media, and he allowed me to just do everything in the church when it came to media.
Wow.
So my biggest crowd was in the early part of my career was Faith City Church, three
Mhm.
services, watching videos that I would make, and I was, I was freaking out.
Wow.
Um, then it just took off. I started implementing, and it was a strategy to what I wanted to do, because it started growing as I was creating, you know.
Mhm.
And one thing that I've learned is, don't put restraints or barriers around a dream,
Mm.
because that can stop you. Like, say something like when you wake up and you're like, I got this little job, or I got this little talk show. There's no
Mhm.
such thing as a little talk show.
No.
If you keep saying little, that is what it's going to create. It's going to be creating a lot of little opportunities, so you can't go anywhere with it. So
Yes.
so I started learning how to just speak life into DETV, and I started and speaking life into myself.
Yes.
I didn't go to school for journalism or even video stuff. I learned it like YouTube and being around awesome creators that was just like, hey, come on, hang out, or yeah. And
Mhm.
next thing I know, I started implementing Star Power, which is a principle from in marketing. One of the, I think it's 7 or 11 principles in marketing, Star Power.
Okay.
And I started getting people in front of my camera that really had that has like more following than me.
Yes.
Um, and it started working because like this, like, okay, for example, How many followers do you have?
Like 3,000 on this page.
Okay. I
Yeah.
got around altogether, I got about 40,000 followers, right?
Ooh, yes.
And this is the strategic thing to do.
Yes.
Like, you bring me on your show.
Yes.
I'm going to share it and talk well about your show.
Mm,
My followers will now become your followers. They
yes.
would say, yo, let me see, because this whole positive movement
Yes.
thing, it's
Mhm.
epic. It's here. It's not going anywhere. We need that right now. And that's how I started leveraging, like, DETV. I
Mhm.
started just putting people in. I remember one person I had was Senator Coons.
Yeah.
He was in front of the camera, U.S. Senator, United States Senator Coons
Yes.
out of Delaware. And
Mhm.
then when someone saw him, they were like, hey, I guess I trust him. If Senator
Mhm.
Coons trusts them giving out positive news, I
Yeah.
guess, let me see. And then here goes Sherry Dorsey. And then here goes Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester. And
Yeah.
I've been doing her work for her since she decided to run. So now it's longevity,
Yes.
it's creativity, number one,
Mhm.
quality of content,
Yeah.
and distribution of content. That the things
Wow.
that I focus really, really on.
Did you face any challenges going after your dream and vision? Were there
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
right?
And whew, what do you where do you want to go first? Personal or
Ooh,
finance or jeez.
everything, huh?
Following your goal,
Mm,
following an idea when everyone thinks you're crazy,
yeah.
you have to be a weirdo.
Mm,
You're just you there are going to be people in your life that are
right.
going to say no, and you can't, or you shouldn't.
Right.
And the majority of those people that will say that will be people that's in your life, without a doubt. Because
Wow.
what it is self-preservation. And they care so much, they don't want to see you hurting. And
Yes.
so they'll say stuff like, yo, go get a job, or they'll say something like, maybe this is not the right time.
Yeah.
And somehow some people believe that. Like,
Mm,
I
mhm.
remember, and this is not a shot at my wife at all.
Right.
But we got a family. It's her, Madison, and myself.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, and this was actually before Madison came. She was like, yo, you might need to go get a job. And like, I believed in my thing so much. I turned to her and said, let me tell you something.
Mm.
This is going to work. I have no plan B.
Ooh.
I'm good at this. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, I am great at this. And one day it will pay off.
Wow.
And I'm really thinking, like, afterwards, like, oh shoot, I'm really gonna go sleep in my van. Like, like how, like it, but this thing was so in me,
Right. Right.
right? I had no time to hear nothing. I
Mm-mm.
like I knew that, and I knew the goal. I knew I
Yeah.
had the definite purpose of
Right.
where I wanted to go. I did not know how to get there, but I
Right.
know that's where I wanted to go. And in order to get there, for me to get there, there had to be a level of no compromise.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then, a couple months later, opportunity hit, and it just been just wildfire after that.
Ooh, let me tell you, I'm getting so many key lessons from you right now
Awesome.
because I'm
Awesome.
going through that right now. And
Yeah.
especially when you're in a small place, it's so much easier to quit.
Oh,
You
without a doubt.
haven't really put yourself out there that much that you think, oh, they're gonna look at me like this huge failure. So I'm like, I better quit, while I'm ahead, right?
No, yeah, yeah, and it's easy. It's easy to say, you know what? Let me stop. Let me stop the blood. Let me stop the
Yeah,
bleeding. Let me because because things happen and a lot of us we follow our dreams when we don't have money stashed or
yeah,
or
yeah.
or things we don't know what's going on. But usually our dream, our passion is hidden behind our pain, and
Mm-hmm,
our
mm-hmm.
pain might be something like, who am I? Like a divorce, or your company closed down after 30 or 40 years, and you're like,
Yeah,
what do I do with this pen and this watch that they gave me? You know what I
yeah,
mean? I might have to go pawn this.
yeah.
But the moment, what I've learned, and I was telling somebody, I was telling a guy named Daquan this yesterday. We was on set filming for Lisa Blunt's Congresswoman
Mm-hmm.
Blunt's show, her show that comes out of Washington.
Okay.
And I said to him, I was like, no matter what it looked like, you got to go. Like, I am. Let me tell you Faith, how this happens.
Mm.
Your pain will hardwire you into believing who you are, without a doubt. For example, kickboxers in other countries, right? What they do is they practice and they just keep hitting forearm hit a tree.
Okay.
They're going to break the first layer of skin.
Yeah.
They're going to break the second layer of skin.
Yes.
They're going to eventually it's going to go down to the bone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what
Mm-hmm.
happens is it starts to callus,
Yeah.
right? And to a point that you feel absolutely nothing.
Woo.
That's where I'm at right now in my life. I'm at the callous point where I like my pain of watching my father die, my pain of sleeping in my car, believing something, my pain of my business after 14 years shutting down, my pain of my putting my house up for sheriff's sale because I couldn't afford the mortgage, my pain of my car being repoed has hardwired me to say, oh, this is easy.
Oof. You don't even hear the nose anymore.
I can't.
You
I
can't.
can't. You can't tell me anything. Like I no, because like right now, my body of work is saying, so what? I don't have a degree. I got $1 million people in front of my. Like 2 weeks ago, I interviewed Vice President Joe Biden.
I know.
Like you can't tell me no. You know what I mean? And that's what it does. It hardwires you to say, for you to wake up in the morning and say, damn it, whoa, I know who I am. Let's go. Let's go to work.
You know what, Big Eye? Now I'm saying to myself, 1 degree of separation from Vice President Joe Biden. Now I have someone connected to him, right?
Yeah. And you know what is crazy is like you and I mean. So I got to tell you this, right? So we go and I talk about the white and black car because I paint pictures. It's just the way that my mind works. So we go to shoot to film Vice President Biden for the Women's Hall of Fame for the state of Delaware. Okay. And so they called me and they was like, hey, Ivan, Dr. Jill Biden is a recipient. And I was like, oh, I know Ashley. Like I know the daughter. Like I did work for the daughter, Ashley Biden. She had a clothing launch. I did a fashion photo shoot for it. Like I know Ashley. So I call Ashley up and I'm like, hey, Ash. She's like, what's up, Big Ive? I'm like, I need a favor. She's like, what's up? I said, look, your mom's getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. Is it possible if I get an interview with you, your mom, and your father? And she was like, oh, without a doubt, it's done. Call, and then Saturday, like the following Saturday, I get an email. Yes. I get a text message, actually. Wow. No, I'm sorry. I get a phone call from a blocked number and someone said, answer the phone. Answer the phone. Mm-hmm. I answer the phone. And it's like, hi, this is so-and-so, Vice President Joe Biden's staffer. And I'm on the phone like crying, about to cry, right? Because 2 years ago, I said, one day I'm gonna interview Vice President Biden. Wow. And I didn't even know Ashley at that time. Mm. And so it's like, whatever you want, you got to make sure you speak that thing into existence. Don't worry about how it's going to get done and know that it's going to work itself out. Wow. So he comes into, it's a camera crew. It's already a camera crew there. It's a, bunch of white guys that were freaking awesome. And then there's this black camera crew that comes in and we have to share the same room. Right. Wow. And that's me and my squad. And we get in there and we start, getting on some geek stuff and talking about, the cameras and everything. So we become like brothers in the game, right? The door busts open and Vice President Joe Biden says, so where's Big Ive at? Where's Big Ive? And I'm blown away, right? I'm like, so my homie there says, yo, Vice President Biden is looking for you. And I'm like, huh? Like he comes up, it gives me, a good, soul brother pound. Yes. Gives me a hug. And he says to me, yo, thank you so much for everything that you've done for my daughter. Wow. I really, really appreciate it. Wow. And since you took care of her, I'm going to take care of you. Oh. And like everybody in the room was silent. And I'm all I'm thinking about, right, is what the hell just happened? And again, it'll be those things in your life that I believe that the creator, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, will allow you to take that, put it in your Superman belt,
Yes.
right? And say, oh, I can do anything now. And if I got this, so then the next conversation is like, oh yeah, me and Barack, like what? Like
what?
How am I even in this conversation? You know what I mean? Like, so Barack's next on my filming career.
Absolutely.
Barack and Michelle. So that's what I'm aiming for right there.
I'm believing.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
But you mentioned education. So I needed to talk about this just because that's something you hyped up
Yeah.
and spoke about this week.
Yes.
About being accepted into DSU, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So education, I know education and lifelong learning is important, especially
Very
if
important.
you want to develop in any field, in any expertise, and produce quality work.
Yeah.
Why was it so important for you to make that decision to go back to school for film and TV broadcasting, especially now that you just said, I got this number of followers, do I really need a degree?
Oh, I don't need it. No.
Why are you doing it?
I'm doing it for my kids.
Okay.
I'm doing it for my kids. I'm doing it. I'm the first reason is I'm doing it for my kids. The second reason is I'm doing it because I want to be a better me. And in being a better me, it means to go back and fix my wrongs. It means, I went to Del State in 96 and I left early because my father had a stroke and I never went back. And I want, like, how am I going to tell my kids to never give up?
Yes.
Or how I'm going to tell them, oh, you're going to college. And they're looking at me like, Dad, you ain't you ain't graduate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then it was one of those things. I believe, and this is my whole depiction of the creator, God, again, universe, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
Like an old man on the bench in a park. And I like to use Manhattan and just with breadcrumbs, throwing breadcrumbs down on the pavement, and those breadcrumbs can lead us, and we're the pigeons, and it can lead us to do anything, right?
You're right.
So when I had to film that for the Joe Biden for the state of Delaware, I also had to film video record two amazing women. One, Dr. Mashu, president of Delaware State University.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And one of the hardest and one of the blessings is with what I do is I meet amazing people. The other blessing is I get them. It's like my camera is a very, very spiritual tool. Like people really, really open up. Right. And the second part is, so I'm interviewing Dr. Mashu, and she's telling me, like, the camera was on but we was just having a conversation. And she was telling me what it was like for her and what she had to sacrifice to get an education back in 1970.
Wow. Okay.
And what Delaware State College was and high school was to black people and people of color in Dover. Like, it was a high school / college. Entertainers like Aretha Franklin, James Brown, like they would come through Dover and they couldn't sleep in a hotel. They had to sleep on the college campus.
Oh my God.
Right. Then I had to interview Dr. Reba Hollingsworth, and same thing. Woman grew up in Sussex County, 8 people in a 1 bedroom, and how she left at 15 to go to high school at Delaware State College.
Wow.
And just to hear those stories, just to hear those stories over. And then when I'm coming home, I'm editing the film. And when I'm editing the film, it's a bunch of replay, just replay to make sure the film goes correctly. And in it, I keep hearing education. I keep hearing sacrifice. And I said, you know what? Yeah. I'm going back to school. And I did it. And I put it out there on social media, and people were loving it. And the next day, after I said I was going back to school, I had to go give a lecture at Delaware State University. And I call him Dr. O, sat in. He's the dean, I think, of the college of Mass Comm. I think it's Mass Comm. Sat in, and he was like, "Yo, you didn't graduate?" And I was like, "No, I was a knucklehead." And he was like, "You know this stuff?" I'm like, yeah, I live it. This is what I do. And he was like, you ever think about going back? And I was like, yeah, last night. And he, and he was like, yo, we got a program that allow you to give you credit for years of service of which you've been building.
What?
And I was like, what? And he was like, how many credits do you have? I said, 60. He said, oh, wow. We need to talk. And I went down there and boom, enough said.
Are you serious?
It's called the program is called Intermediate Studies. Yeah. And I applied, and then we went down there. I went down there like the following week to watch the videos that being played at the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
and Dr. Michoud and Dr. Reba Hollingsworth. And I told them, and I said, look, you ladies inspired me to go back to school.
Yeah.
And they were like, we did? They're like, they start introducing me to everybody, and everybody was like, oh, this is the guy that just did the video. And people were like, yo, you did that? And I was like, yeah. Like, it was just, this is the thing how I feel about education.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine and I talk, and it said something the other day. There are so many professional unprofessionals out here in the world.
Yeah.
And education will be the thing that separates you.
Mm.
It will be. And like where a lot of people think that what I do is easy, just because I make it look easy, they don't understand the back office on what it takes.
Right.
It takes the science of persuasion. It takes the science of marketing. It takes the science of the Pythagorean theorem. Understand that. It takes mathematics.
Yeah.
And all these are things that when people see me on Facebook, the finished product, they don't see the product. They don't see the investment that I put in of studying 10 hours a day of framing, or 10 hours a day of just the how to persuade someone visually, and the art of it. They don't see that. And a lot of people say, oh, so you love photography? No, not at all. I like it. I'm in love with the science. The science of it is just amazing, how I can actually make you watch 5 minutes of whatever I put out. And that's my thing. I love to make people watch, and I know how to make people watch. And I know. So like, even with my studying, I studied Hitler. I studied Hitler because Hitler understood like certain body movements on how to say things, and certain pronunciations on how to how to say things. And the guy that actually taught him that was Jewish, and mannerisms and tones. And then I started studying Eastern philosophy, and that's where I got my mala beads, because I understand that this thing that we do, it's about human behavior.
Yes. So
with that, I had to make a vow to myself and to my creator that I won't film anything derogatory or degrading to people, my races, women, because media doesn't need permission to rest in your subconscious mind. Mm-hmm. So, and we became a world now that the most idiotic, just idiot TV is ruling.
It is.
It's everywhere, and I won't be a part of that.
Yeah, it's actually very frustrating to me when I see when people post negativity. That seems to be what people gravitate towards, and I'm not sure, is it the nature of our humanity that that's what we want to see, or is it fear that makes us go towards it? I have no idea. But then when you're trying to do something positive, it takes so much more energy. For people to line up with it. But I did want to pivot to the madisonsdaddy.com.
Oh wow. You brought that up. That was a blast from the past.
In my research, I'm learning how to do some research here.
Nice.
So I know you started it after the premature birth of your daughter. And I'm sure there are people who have gone through that or have had negative reports spoken about that. And so just for the benefit of anyone that comes on the Hope Hub that may need a word of encouragement around, having preemies or going through a negative report as far as a pregnancy. Could you speak to us about that and what inspired it?
Madison, one day, so my wife goes to the doctors, and she had a miscarriage.
Okay.
About God, maybe 6 months later,
Mm,
she goes to the doctor and they're like, "You're pregnant." I'm like,
mm,
what? Um, so we was like, where did this come from? You know what I mean?
mm.
So her being afraid, and that's what she wanted. She wanted a baby. She wanted a baby. Her biological clock was ticking. And
Yeah.
then go to another doctor's visit, and they're like, hey, and this was much later. Hey, you are about to have the baby. The head is right there.
Oh, wow.
And we were like, huh? Like, wait a minute.
Mm,
So she at that moment, she was bedridden for I think I want to say up to 7 weeks, maybe 8 weeks.
wow.
So she had everything was going on. That was the time that I closed my business because it was tanking because of the recession. We
Mhm.
lost our house. We moved into an apartment. Someone stole her wedding ring. Um, she's bedridden and she's
Oh,
the only one working because I lost everything.
oh my God.
Um, with that, now she's bedridden and she was actually in college too, getting
Mm,
her BS in nursing.
mm,
So at that point, I started to see humanity because when I was at my lowest point, that's when people, white, black, Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, people were just giving me and helping me and praying for me. And I never seen anything like that in my life.
wow.
I ended up, I was on the search of trying to find what was going on. So one day, you know, Madison comes and she comes like at a price at 25 and a half weeks with a C-section.
Wow.
And the doctor happened to be on the golf course and she was like, nope, I'm done. I got to get back to the hospital. We got to deliver this baby right now.
Wow.
And she comes and Madison was born at 1 pound, 3 ounces, at 25 and a half weeks.
Oh my God.
Um, At that point, she spent up to 289 days in the hospital in the NICU.
Mm,
And it was one of the most emotional, it was one of the most hardest things that I've been through, but most of all my wife's been through.
mm.
Um, because there's certain things about men, we just don't understand how y'all ladies work. We don't understand what it's like carrying a baby. We don't understand what it's like that bond right there. We just don't
Yeah.
understand it. Right.
Yeah.
Um, so Madison comes and it was just a really, really rough time for us. And so when she came home after 289 days, my wife in the hospital was her thing was I have to be an advocate for Maddie
Mm,
because no one is going to. And thank God for those, that she was a nurse because
mm.
she was doing her research and that was one of the biggest things is regardless of what we go through in life, people need to do research.
Yeah.
And with that research, attach your faith. It's like it should be like attach faith here
Mm-hmm.
after you do your research.
Yes.
Because a lot of people want to just go in it faith or faith, just faith. I'm gonna just give it all to God.
Yes.
But we also have to have understanding and discipline before we give anything.
Mm-hmm.
And she would come in, and I swear to you, she would come in with like a notebook, right? And be like, okay. She would catch the rounds of the doctors, and she
Mm-hmm.
said, I know they're going to round every day at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I need to be there. So the nurse would wheel her from upstairs downstairs to and she would stay there, and she would tell the doctors, okay, what I would like you to do is to every hour, I want you to turn my baby's head because what would happen was premature babies would heads would get elongated. They would become real long.
Yeah.
And so she did her research, and I'm like, for real? She was like, yeah, just turn the baby head. I need my baby head to be round. You
Yes.
know? Yeah. Every 3 hours, I want you to turn her on her side to
Yeah.
help her with her breathing and her lungs.
Yeah.
And they did it. They did it.
Wow.
You know, um, so Madison comes home, and when she comes home with, um, she has to be fed through a tube. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
fed through her belly, oxygen running throughout the whole entire house. And when we leave or we went somewhere with her,
Mm-hmm.
we would take oxygen tanks with us as well. So imagine what it's like going to get a hotel with a baby with oxygen.
Oh my
It
God.
was crazy. It was like bananas, but you know, they
Mhm.
always upgraded us.
Mhm.
They're like, here, take this
That was
penthouse.
one benefit.
They were like, take this penthouse. So I came with the idea of Madison's daddy because I was a stay-at-home father at that time.
Okay.
Just before I found, started doing video full time.
Yes.
And the nurses were there. So we had nurses that was 24 hours, 24-hour nursing. And I would sit there and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be an advocate for my daughter and help
Mm.
other fathers, like not parents, but just fathers, because
Others. That's what
as
I
a
mean.
man,
Yeah.
yeah, as a man, it was hard. You got this 350-pound black guy, and he's like, yo, how do like, she's the size of my hand. Like, how do
Yeah.
I even become to say I'm okay?
Yeah.
So I created a site called Madison's Daddy,
Yeah.
and who saw it? The March of Dimes saw it. And they
Okay.
were like, yo, you got something here, bro. And I was like, well, at the same time, I'm kind of working on DETV.
Yes. Yeah.
But I was still doing Madison's Daddy. And even now to today, parents still reach out to me. And I just be like, hey, this is how you handle it. This is
Mm-hmm.
what you go through. Because what I found out in life is the things that we go through are not necessarily just for us.
No.
Instructions for everybody else that might be going through the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't have a problem sharing any information, because sometimes we just need to help people out.
I totally agree. And when I saw that, I just it struck me. I have a relative, I'm not going to say who they are, but they just went through a pregnancy that was a very challenging pregnancy where they had this report that the baby may not come out right. And so going through that experience, it really taught them that it's very hard to find hope, especially on the internet. You find the research piece, a lot of that exists on the Google sphere.
Yeah.
But in terms of actually finding personal stories and people who say, I'm going to start a blog about this experience that I went through, and how, because I understand it from a male perspective or from whatever perspective, and give information out, just so someone can go on your blog and read. So, and actually I saw people had posted stories on your blog, because I think you asked people to share.
Yeah. And it's so many people. It's a bunch of people that are going through it.
And
that have premature babies.
It lives forever. And with this particular family member, she said, I don't know what I need to do. I feel like I need to write a letter or something. Just put it out to the world.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of people out there who are willing to share their experiences, and maybe they don't know how to.
Right.
Or the wherewithal or whatever. But thank you so much for even doing that. I know it's past. How is Madison now?
Oh my gosh, she's running around. Madison's crazy. All right.
How old is she?
Madison's 5 years old. Madison been here before. Okay. She's been here before. She is this little girl here. I swear to you. So she's perfectly cool now. She's a normal child. No feeding tube. No oxygen anymore. She is awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Wow, awesome. So I cut off a lot of questions. I wanted to speak about the because you said you're a creator and you offer a lot of opportunities for creatives. What opportunities do you see for creatives in the field of media, and what advice do you have, if any, for them?
Oh gosh,
kind of on the same journey.
Great answer. I mean, great question. I think one of the things is, and like in my lectures and what I teach is, the key word is create. Like I am totally against 9 to 5s. You know what I mean? That's just me. I'm totally against 9 to 5s. And the reason is I've always been an entrepreneur, always. And my first job, all right. My first job, I was 15. I worked for the city. I was like a lifeguard. I used to watch the pool. Okay, that don't count. My second job was becoming the station manager for WITN News for the city of Wilmington. That didn't go over so well because I'm not programmed. I don't do 9 to 5s, right? Just don't. My advice be for someone that's getting into it. Right now, we're at a very pivotal time in content creation.
Yes.
Okay. And don't the advice I can give is don't make your content for your city, your state, make it for the world.
Wow.
Make it for the world. And the reason is that quality content, I mean, we're in a huge world.
Yes.
All you need is a couple of followers. That's it. Create your own lane.
Yeah.
If there's a 3-lane highway, damn it, that's what I did. It worked. I saw that it worked. I see that it worked. I'm living that it works.
Yes.
So I'm like, why? And companies like, why would you go to a company that will not give you complete control over your creativity?
Yeah.
Like my entire team, I have a team of 10 people now. And in there, we met last Sunday, and I told him, I was like, look, I am not going to stop you from creating. I'm not going to put, this is what we want to build is media and for that will educate, inspire, influence good behavior.
Oh, wow.
And if you can do that, whatever you can create.
Yes.
Give me a 1-pager of what the description is, and let's shoot.
Wow.
That's it. Because where we're at right now, we'll find someone that'll sponsor it. Because no one is doing it. Not in Delaware, Delaware's only 200% positive news station.
Wow.
That's it. 200%. And it was created here in this basement.
Oh my gosh.
And the creatives love that. That's what creators want to do. We want to, and the way I look at it is, I'm like, shoot, if I'm supposed to be made in his image and likeness, and he can create, wait till you get a load of me.
Yes. Yes. And I love that you're like, it's a matrix effect. I know you've been calling out for content creators. Actually, last Saturday, maybe it was last Saturday, and I had something going on. I was going to come down.
You should have came down. Look, you should have. I had. You know how many people I had come out?
How many?
1.
No, really.
And guess what? I got that one.
You hired her?
Key Robbins is my #1 producer.
Oh my God.
She is amazing.
Wow.
And that's the thing. Being around people that are just great at what they do.
Yes.
Like she sees what I'm doing with DETV, and she was like, Ivan, we gonna go to the next level.
Amen.
And I'm like, next level. You know what I mean? I'm like, next level. And she like, no, trust me. Wow. And now, like, yeah, that's exactly what we're going. We're going between her and my homie Benny Black. Like Benny Black is our graphics and director of photography. And we're not playing no games right here. The content that we're building, it's up there with the big boys. Like we got the same bats and same balls, same cameras and everything. Yeah. So we rocking and rolling now.
Do you feel that there's an oversaturation of content creation on social media? Do you feel that there's so much competition? I don't know. Like right now on Facebook, I'm feeling like every time I'm scrolling, it's another live video. Everybody's on. Is it diluting what it is that you do as a content creator and being in this media space?
No. For me, no.
Okay.
For it depends for some people. I can't speak for them, but this is the thing. With me, no. That's a real good question, because I woke up like a year ago, and I was like, oh my God. And I was thinking like, yo, am I does it have any validity? Am I being overshadowed by, other content creators out there? And I was like, no. And it took other people to keep telling me, you're in your own lane.
Yeah.
I'm not a wedding photographer. I'm not an event photographer. I have a news outlet.
Yes.
That's trusted, warranted, signed off by senators and vice presidents, and my competition, if they look at me as competition, only thing they can do right now is try to keep up, because I'm just going to keep creating. And the moment that I look at them like competition is the moment that I took my eyes off of what I do.
I get it.
And I can't take my eyes off what I do because I'm in my own lane. Yeah.
So one of the things that Ivan does that I noticed is the business roll calls.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
What is that about? And I actually saw business roll calls, and then recently I actually saw almost like a nonprofit roll call, because you wanted to do 60 seconds for nonprofits, and you wanted 10 people. So why do you do that? What is that about, the business roll calls?
The business roll call was invented, and this is one of the things, Faith.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just create stuff and don't even know what the hell I'm creating. Like, and that's how business roll call came about. I was in my basement. And I think I was drinking some sangria, right? And I
Yeah.
was just like, you know what? There's not a lot of businesses out here that's getting any play.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, what's up? And I went live. I went live. I like, yo, what's up, is Ivan? This is your main man, Big Eye, to talk to the time. It's at DTVCH.com. And yo, right now it's business roll call. So drop the name of your business below, and I'm gonna go through it. And at that time, I had this program on my computer that would allow me to show everyone my screen.
Yes.
And people would put their website, and I would just go down and like, okay, we're gonna check your website out. And
Yeah.
be like, okay, this was so-and-so do, this was so-and-so do. And it went extremely well with the business roll call. And it was just, so my friend of mine from the Secretary of Labor called me, is like, yo, what you building over there?
Wow.
And I was like, oh, it's business roll call. So I went ahead and bought the domain, DelawareBusinessRollCall.com.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we didn't put anything up on it yet, but it was just like, because if when people call you about something, it's something because they see something.
Yes.
And that's one thing about creating content is, I don't need to tell you about it, but I need you to see it, because I need you to come up with the idea. So when he came up with the idea, he's like, hey, I think that might be something. I said, yeah, it's something. I don't know what it is yet, but it's going to be something. Wow. And then, so that was how I came up with business roll call.
I love it. I love it. So anyone who's interested in highlighting their businesses, their nonprofits here in Delaware, please check out Big Ive. He's at his Friends Cap on Facebook, but I'm sure there's you can follow him.
Yeah, my DETV page is still wide open.
It's the capacity is huge. At least on Delaware TV, but I know with Facebook, that algorithm thing,
crazy.
Man, they're making it hard for business platforms out here. They want us to pay for the platform.
But it's a great thing, though. It's a great thing. When I started like digging down into the algorithms and to see how it was going. Yeah. Now, one of the biggest things is having a website, right? And then in 2018, if you don't have a website right now, you just don't exist.
Yeah.
Right. It's just the fact of the matter is because people, and remember, we say build content for the world, not for where you're around.
Right.
Because the world says, hey, what's this Hope Hub? Let me Google it, or let me, they could be on Twitter. Let me find this hashtag. And that hashtag should let them know exactly who you are, what you do, and how to get in contact with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's where it becomes very, very visible, where you become very, very visible.
On your website.
Your website, without a doubt.
And that's something I realized just by watching you, because a lot of your content is small snippets of interviews. And I was like, how come he doesn't have the whole interview here on Facebook? So it forces, then you go to Delaware TV and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much content on here.
Yeah.
You live on that website just by watching all those videos. So it's amazing. Now I'm going to choose one more.
Okay.
And you already talked about all the people that you've interviewed, which is an unbelievable list. I saw Al Sharpton, I saw the Vice President Joe Biden. What those doors of opportunity and one-on-one conversations, have they changed your perspective at all on leadership, community service? I mean, what aha have you gotten just by breathing the same air as these amazing people who have gone out and done great things?
Great question. Dr. Jill Biden, Dr. Reba Hollingsworth, Dr. Michaud, they all said the same thing in their interview. I don't do this for accolades or awards. And, and like Dr. Jill Biden, she does not accept awards at all.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. They were very, very surprised that she accepted this award of Hall of Fame. She said, and she was like, I just do what I do and I don't do it for awards.
Oh, I love it.
When you see how people, I'm from Southbridge, okay? Yeah. When you see people operate totally different, move totally different. See, success leaves clues. And we have to find, we'll look for those opportunities. And when you see how people dress, you see how people talk, you see how people follow up in emails. You know what I mean? You see when someone says, hey, Faith, hey, give me a call, let's link up. You got 24 hours. Send them a follow-up email. Yo, it was great. Look, I was sending follow-up videos. Yes, those follow-up emails, like, because I wasn't a writer. I couldn't write well. I was like, no, I remember Gary Vee said, yo, don't worry about what you can't do.
Yes.
Focus on what you can do and do it extremely well. Well, I changed the name. I changed it and said, I focus and beat the heck out of what I'm good at until it's great.
That's right.
I'll beat it, and I'll beat it while people sleep. I even found a different sleep pattern, right? My sleep pattern is if I have a chance to come home at 6, I'll go to sleep from 6 to 9. I'll wake up while other people are asleep and work to 3 or 4.
Wow.
And then by that time I'm putting out, because my goal is to put out at least 2 videos a day.
Really?
Yeah, without a doubt. Look, my goal is 500 pictures a day, 2 videos a day. To take 500 pictures a day.
Yes. Because
that trains me for my composition and trains me for how I see things.
Wow.
Right? And then put out 2 videos a day.
That's a great, I don't know, that's capacity.
Yeah, right. And I'll never lose having more content than anybody else.
Yes.
Good quality content. And you should see this new video I'm about to drop. We shot yesterday. It was so amazing. Like, shout out to my team for that. I'll make sure that I'll send you the link so you can see it. Just simply let me say this. Keep doing what you're doing, Faith.
I will.
Keep doing what you're doing, and make sure when you do it and how you do it, that you are setting a bar. Okay? You find out what other people are doing with their Zoom. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like how like we were talking about earlier, how they light it, the audio. Yes. Set it apart. Set your thing apart that people only know it's you. When you come on, you got something great that they need to hear. Because I'm telling you, I'm hardwired to tell you, it can work.
Wow.
It will work, but you have to work it. And what wins is consistency. Consistency, overdo it if you have to. Consistency wins. Because people, I used to get mad. I'm not gonna lie here. I used to get mad. I used to see everyone when I first got started, everyone popping up with videos. Yeah. And then 3-4 months later, they're not there no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like, what happened?
Well, and that's how our viewers are. Our viewers are like, yo, every time I turn around, Faith gives me the word that I need to hear. Yeah. Or every time I turn around, Faith gives me something that could just inspire me and my business. Yeah. Like, shoot, I'm about to call Kia, but like, yo, we might have a new show for you called Hope Hub. We might have to sign her on to DETV. Shoot. Amen. You know, just keep moving and doing what you do, and just keep bringing people in front of your camera. You know.
I will. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much. How can people find you?
Oh, you can find me at, oh gosh, it's funny when you're on the other end of this thing, you know. Shoot. Wait, what's my social media?
Yeah, I think, DETV, right?
DETVCH.com. You can check me out on Instagram. I post heavy on Instagram. So make sure you check that out. That's Ivan Thomas Media on Instagram. DETV on Instagram. LinkedIn, Ivan Thomas. But you'll never get tired of my content. Ever.
Wow.
Ever.
That's amazing. I wanted to give a quote before we leave, right? And this actually, I thought was, you had said you were going to a funeral today, so I thought this was interesting that this was the quote. But the quote says, I shall pass this way but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not defer nor neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again.
Damn.
Yeah. So That's a quote from Unknown.
Yeah, that's
I
me.
thought it was befitting of this.
Yeah.
And lastly, I just want to thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you.
I understand media in terms of what media is defined as, communication, newspapers, TV, internet, as well as blogs, platforms. It's so extensive and huge, but I also understand the importance of having people who are the go-betweeners and the
Yeah.
connectors of stories that are that intermediate layer that is almost an intangible. And so for me, when I see you on Facebook streets, giving the messages, it's not just about the stories, that what you're saying is impacting and is connecting to the deeper part of who we are as human beings here on Facebook. So, sometimes you don't know who you're touching. Of the 5,000 friends that you have, or the followers, but we're watching you and we see you. And I thank you for taking me up on the offer to be a beacon of hope today. I am so blessed, and I thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. One of the biggest things is, and I have to say this, I have about like 30 pairs of jeans, right? And and okay, about 20 pairs of jeans, and every one of my jeans have a hole in it, right? They have a hole on the butt, right? Because because when I first got started, my van ripped all my jeans, right? Like the seat just ripped them over a period of time. Me sliding my big butt out in and out of. Right. So when I go give lectures, right, and I go speak to the masses about the science of videography, cinematography, and photography, I wear jeans. I not just then, but I always wear these jeans. And what they do is, it's a visual tool to keep me grounded, to let me know when I pass through here. Always remain humble. And that's one of my things. So the key to this whole thing is humility, and to understand that we never will make it to the top without being humble. And giving grace and being grateful. So thank you again. I am really, really happy that you reached out to me. And thank you. This means a lot to me. It really does.
And really thank you, Facebook. We completely forgot about people on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
I did not see any questions.
Me either. We got 29 comments though.
There were people saying we're watching and hi, so I didn't get any questions. I kept telling people, hey, ask something, but they just said great advice. And
that's good enough. I'm good enough. If y'all miss a rewind the tape, rewind the video.
Rewind. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Yeah, everyone, I see it. Oh my God, you have a huge following.
I have a huge following.
Brenda from Texas is watching. Sam from Baltimore. Shout out to Sam.
Shout out, Sam.
Someone from Kenya.
Yes, Severina.
Wow.
Yes. So there was quite a number of people.
Yo, great job. Great job, Faith.
Guys, share the video. A lot of people watch it on the replay. So please share the video and follow the Hope Hub. Follow DETV.
Well, Hope, let me ask you real quick before you leave, because I want to know, how did you come up with this?
So my son was diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum. And like I said, with your Madison's Daddy blog, same idea, where you're a parent and you're looking for hope. You're looking for someone that looks like you online. You're reading all these blogs and scrounging through just to get a glimmer, just somebody that can say there's hope for recovery, positivity or some change. And I couldn't find anything.
Right.
So I told myself, that was almost 5 years ago. At that moment, I said to myself, I'm going to have to do something where right now I don't have any proof of recovery. I don't have anything that shows that he will be verbal at some point. But if God is able to give me a miracle or help me just see some progress along his journey, I'm going to be sure to share that story. So that's how I started, was just I came on Facebook when he was now like probably it was last year. And I just wanted to be hope for someone who was going through the same thing. Now
Right.
he's not fully recovered. He's still going through therapies, but he speaks. And at that point, he wasn't.
Right.
So, for me, I said, look, I had promised God that I would come here. I would somehow, I didn't even know Facebook Live at that time when I got that word, but the word that was downloaded into my spirit was to be a beacon of hope. And I kept saying, how am I supposed to be hope when I have none to give?
Right.
I just promised that as I get glimmers of hope, I will share it with other people. And it's funny, I'm an introvert. I'm not someone who is as outgoing as you are, like all these relationships and connections, but somehow through this platform, I'm connecting to people. It's forcing me
Right.
to get out of my box and connect to other people and also grow, while I'm also inspiring people to just have hope for anything. And I didn't want it to be autism, just like for you with Madison's baby. You weren't like, you didn't want to be in that box of March of Dimes and this is all I do. You want to say, look, there's so many narratives and stories out here in Delaware and globally that other people need to hear positivity and out here in community. And so you're going to be that voice. And so that's what I'm doing here in my own little way. Okay, I shouldn't say little anymore.
Right. It's a big thing you're doing. You got 3,000 followers.
Yes.
That means that's 3,000 people that you have the chance to influence every day.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? And that is huge that is really, really huge for doing that, because people look there. That means that, and I'm looking at these numbers right now, and numbers don't lie. People are really looking at you for some type of encouragement.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So yeah, don't keep moving, keep going.
I will. Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. If you need anything, you let me know. All right.
Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome.
Vice versa.
Thank you.
All right. God bless.
God bless you.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All righty.